Good evening, traders, and welcome to the weekly commodity report. I'm your host, Paul. This is where I'm going to use wave analysis, look at the charts, and see what patterns might be in play, what price levels are important. In this video, we're going to look at natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's get started. I'm going to start with natural gas. This is the futures contract. And it was looking good for natural gas to break this 199 low in an ending diagonal. So I thought that could have been 1, that was 2, this was 3, and I thought they'd be coming up for 4, and then they started coming down. It was looking good for one more break for that fifth and final wave. But then things quickly changed. So this pattern now becomes a little bit murky. And as I've been stating for a while, I'd only be looking for buy setups, even though I think they will break 199 one more time. I'd only be looking for the buy because this thing is ending soon. There's a couple of patterns that could be going on here. So we had this, three wave down to there. So that, there is that possibility that the bottom is in. And then this is one, and then this is just a three wave, very deep correction for 2. So that always exists, and now they're going to really take off. So the key levels to watch are not this level, not 2021. It's this level right there. Because this has the potential of starting a leading diagonal. So this was 1, 2, 3 up to there for 1. 3 down, that would be 2, 3 up. And this is in a perfect zone for the third wave if they're making a diagonal. Now they've come a little bit deeper than a 4 should be, and it's quite impulsive. So things would have to really reverse here quick because there hasn't been much of a correction yet. So they would have to probably correct still one more down and then quickly come up for that fifth wave. So we got to wait and see. So these are two key levels here. One of these has to break to give us a clue as to what is going on. Because I think if this turns out to be 5 waves, so if that's 1, 2, 3, and this low holds, so basically just where they're at, it has to pretty much hold for 4. And then they go up for 5 again. Then I think that this has the potential of being 1 and 2. And then this is just a leading diagonal. You're going to get a correction and then still more up. And it'll continue on up to go up for the third wave. So these are really key levels. Because obviously if this 2075 breaks, then I think natural gas actually could be having a lot more down to go, because then this whole thing, this 3 wave, is A and B, and then I'd be expecting a 5 wave move coming down, which means this 3 wave move down to here, 1, 2, 3. That would be just 1. And then this would have been 2. And then if this breaks, this 2075, then I think they're coming down for 3, going to get a 4, and then probably still a 5. Unless they're going to do, this doesn't look like a WXY. That's why I think this move down to 199, I think that was just the A wave. Bounce for B, and it should be a 5 wave move for C. So, yeah, if 2075 breaks, then I think they go well under 199, because that third wave target is itself like 195, and then you'll get a correction up for 4, and then still one more down. So yeah, a couple of patterns that could be in play, but one of these levels has to break to give us a better indication of what the direction is and what the pattern will be then. So watch these 2 levels. But like I said, I'd only be looking for buys. Buying right here actually wouldn't be that bad. I would have a stop loss though right around 2075 though, because if it's not going to go up for the fifth wave and it comes crashing down here, then I think it breaks that low and goes a lot lower. So this wouldn't be a bad place for probably like a short-term trade to go up for the fifth wave. I'd probably take profit because then there should be a decent sized correction. And then you could re-enter there once you get 5 waves. Then you know there'll be a correction, but it'll still go back up. So any correction should be bought. So yeah, it's not the worst place to be buying right here and having this tight of a stop loss. All right, oil. All right, oil just continues to go down. And as I've been saying, I think this triangle that completed over here back in July, we should be seeing 3 waves from this 84.49 level going down to break 63. And so far they're getting awfully close to it. So obviously if it at any point it reverses and takes out 84, then that was not a triangle. I'll have to relook at this pattern. But for now, I think that was a triangle, and this is a clear 5-wave move. This gets a little murky, and it's mainly because of this wave right here. It was so impulsive. There's just these little baby corrections. So not unless that created an ABC, it looks very impulsive. So I'm wondering, though, if there's not going to be like a running flat in here. Because it could be that this is an ABC. And then this could all be the B wave here. And at some point, we're going to get a pretty sharp up move and then still more down. So one of these could be either this is going to be the running flat, or this whole thing could actually turn out to be a running flat. Because it's not clear yet what this is. The only thing that's clear is that we got 5 waves down, and then I'm pretty sure that this is 3 waves. And then they came and they broke that low barely. So it's either that's 1, 2, 3, but this doesn't look like 3 waves up. So there could be like a contracting flat here. I got to see what happens next, because this piece right here looks very much like they made a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to there, corrected up into that purple zone, shallow correction, and then they came in and broke it today. So it looks like 1, 2, 3. So I feel like this is going to turn out to be a running flat. So let me clean this up. So I think, oh shoot, let me clean that. I think this could be 1 and then 2. And then I think this is going to turn out to be a running flat. This is going to be your impulse. This is your A. This is A, B, C. Like that'll be the B wave. And then pretty soon you're going to get a spike and then more down. That's the pattern that I'm favoring. So it'll look like that. And then this will probably all be part of the 3rd wave. So that's 1, 2, and then this is going to be 1, 2. You come down 3, 4, 5, and then they'll be making an impulse. So let's see if that pattern plays out. There'll have to be a pretty soon a pretty straight up spike. You know, somewhere at least above 72.5, probably more like 73 to 74. If we see this pattern playing out, then I'd definitely be a seller. Because as I've been saying, I'm looking for this to come and break 63, 61. So I'm only looking for sell setup. So if we get this running flat look, I'd definitely be a seller then. Okay, that's oil, so let's move on to the metals. Start with copper. All right, so copper, as I've been saying, looking for this. Oh, I got to set that off. Bigger diagonal here going up for a fifth. And if that's the case, then this 392 should hold from where price is right now. Now, so far, we just have three waves up. We have an A, a B, and a C. And then I think this is A, because this is just three waves. So I think that's B up to there. And then it's really strong, sharp sell-off. Perfectly into this green zone that I had last week. So if they're going to be going up, it's going to go up in a diagonal. That ABC, that's one. This ABC will be two. And then literally from right where it is right now, it has to start taking off. If there's any chance of copper going higher for 3, 4, and then 5 eventually. So I'd only be looking for buy setups. And this is actually a really good place if you're not in, because you can have a really tight stop loss. I think that has to hold. 404, I think that has to hold. Because if that comes back down again, all of a sudden there's just too many waves. Because this needs to be 5 waves, and it looks like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So another break of that, and then that's too many waves. And then this pattern's not what I think it is. So buying copper here and having it go all the way above 427, and it'll go well into the 4.3s actually for that third wave. That'd be a nice trade. So yeah, buying right here is good, but you have to have a tight stop, because if I have this pattern wrong, then we could be looking at a diagonal coming down, and that could be 1, 2, 3, and then this ABC. Oh, that wouldn't make any sense though. I was thinking this ABC would be 4, and then we're coming down, but they broke that C high. So I'd have to relook if they do come back down and break this, what the heck this was. But yeah, I think if they break 404, I just want to get out and then wait until 427 or the low break. Once the low breaks, then I'd definitely be looking for some buys, because then you'd have like a 5-wave move. And then there should be a decent sized correction coming. So yeah, only looking for buys, and I think this is a pretty darn good place, because you could have a super tight stop loss there. All right, let's move on to gold. All right, so gold did make a bigger. Last week we were over here, and I was wondering if this 3-wave move was going to be all of the 4th wave, because I think this is a diagonal. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm expecting just a 3-wave correction for 4, and then going up, breaking the high for the 5th wave of the 3rd wave. So this AB 3-wave was just like, I think it's the A wave, and then you had this 3-wave move, B, and then I think you had a 1, 2, and a 3. No, it wasn't an impulse. It had to be a diagonal then. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, I think 4 was probably here. And that last 3-wave was the 5th wave. But either way, it's a 3-wave move. And so I think the 4 is in. So once again, like a lot of the metals, if you're not in, I don't know if that's really worth buying it though. Yeah, you're only playing for maybe 2%. Yeah, even though I think it's going to go up for the 5th wave, I don't think it's worth it. Not unless you caught the very, very bottom. I don't think gold is worth buying, even though, yeah, not unless you caught the bottom, because you might only be getting like a 3% gain. I mean, I guess you could buy it on the hope that once it breaks, it really breaks. But because at any moment above 2531, that 5th wave could end, and it could reverse and come right back to you if you buy here. So I can't recommend buying gold, even though it looks for sure like they're going to be going up for a fifth wave. You just don't know, how far it's going to go. If you're lucky, it goes up, into the 256 region, and then maybe you're getting something worth playing for. But yeah, I think I'd let this one go unless you get in and you have a super tight stop loss under 2471, and then just hope that gold just really takes off for a strong fifth wave. I don't know how much you're going to be getting, because then after that 5-wave move, obviously there's going to be a big correction coming. So yeah, I can't recommend buying gold. Wouldn't be buying, but I also wouldn't be selling here. I'd be selling above here, but yeah, that'd be the only thing I'd be looking for, is actually sells above here, above the high. All right, silver. Now silver looks much better. So last week I had this 5-wave count, and I said, wait for some type of a correction. And it's come right down into this green zone that I had, and starting to get a little bit of a bounce. So just like all the other metals, I'm only looking to buy, and you can have a really tight stop loss. If that 2769 breaks, then I think I might want to get out, in case this 5-wave was part of like maybe this was a expanding flat over here. Be kind of weird looking. Yeah, you never know. But like that was deep enough correction. This area should be providing some support. Some buyers should be stepping in. So silver looks good now to go at least up and break that 3018 level, and maybe, if it's going to be creating an impulse, 1, 2, 3 is going to be going, probably up to 32 then. So yeah, silver definitely looks good, and then it'll be challenging its high too. So I probably would shy away from gold, but silver I would, like I said, tight stop loss. I think entering right here, if you're not in, I think that one makes a whole lot more sense. Okay, uranium. So uranium's still struggling here. All I see so far really is just there's this little 1, 2, 3. So is that all the correction, and now it's going to come and break it slow? There is all this, just this little baby 1, 2, 3 waves down. So just like all the others, I mean, if you're not in, this would be the place to buy. But I would just have a tight stop. I might even put it right underneath that previous low, 2405. Because if it keeps going, then they're going to break that 2279. And then somewhere under 2279 would actually be a really good place to buy, because then this looks more like a diagonal, like 1, 2. This was 3 waves down for 3, and then this would have been 4. And then this should be coming down in 3 waves to break 2279 for 5. But then obviously then after that, should be getting a pretty decent sized correction. But there still will be one more wave, at least one more wave down. So a couple of ways to play uranium, and I'd only be a buyer. I'd probably have a tight stop, like I said, just like all the other metals. I'd only be looking to buy to go break either the previous local high or the all-time high. Or if it does break down, then you can be a buyer on that low for a short-term trade for a correction. All right, that's what I see on the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for your likes and support. I'll see you in the next video.